Good morning, children. Today we will study about benefits of e-banking to the customers. The first benefit of e-banking to the customer is e-banking provides 24 hours a day and 365 day a year service to the customers. So throughout the year we get the services and for 24 hours through the e-banking. Then customers can make transaction from office to office or house or while traveling via mobile phone also. So in the house or from the office or while traveling you can do the transactions of your money. Third is there is a great customer satisfaction through e-banking as it offers unlimited access and great security as they can avoid traveling with cash. So the customer satisfaction also increases through e-banking because it offers unlimited access and also a great security because the travelers don't have to take money or cash while traveling. Now what are the e-banking benefits to the banks? The first e-banking benefits to the banks are e-banking lowers the transaction cost. So the transaction cost is lowered by the e-banking. Then load on branches can be reduced by establishing centralized database. So by using a centralized database, the load on the branches are very much reduced. And the last benefit of e-banking is to the bank is e-banking provides competitive advantage to the banks, add values to the banking relationship. So there is a competitive advantage to the bank and also it adds values to the banking relationship. Now the next topic is meaning of insurance. So banking we have studied. Now the second service, that is insurance, we are going to study what is meant by insurance and what are the principles of insurance. Insurance is a contract under which one party agrees in return of the consideration to pay the aggregate sum of money to another party to make good for a loss, damage or injury of something of value in which the insured has financial interest as a result of some uncertain event. So in the insurance is basically a contract under which one party, say the insurance company, it can be LIC, which agrees in return of the premium, means the customer has to pay the premium every month or every year, whatever time is given, time period is stipulated, to the insured. So the insurance company, after taking the insurance premium, if there is loss to the insured, loss, damage or injury of any valuable things which has been insured, then the company, that is the LIC, will give the financial returns or give the money in lieu of the loss or damage or injury. So this is the basic meaning of insurance, and the very good example is the LIC company. We all of us know about the LIC company. So there are certain principles of insurance. What are the principles of insurance? The first principle of insurance is utmost good faith. Insurance contracts are based upon mutual trust and confidence between the insurer and the insured. So according to utmost good faith, the insurance contract is totally based on the mutual trust and confidence between the insurer and the insured, say the LIC and the person who has been insured. It is the conditions of every insurance contract that both the party, insurer and the insured, must disclose every material facts and information related to the insurance contract to each other. So this contract, insurance contract, is basically a condition that the insured will disclose each and every information, each and every fact about himself or related to the insurance contract, and nothing will be hidden. Even the company will also disclose all the insurance and all the policies of the insurance. So it is totally dependent on the mutual trust and confidence between the insurer and the insured. This is called the principles of utmost good faith. Now second is insurable interest. So the second principle, insurable interest, means that some pecuniary interest in the subject matter of the insured contract. So the insured must be interested in the subject matter of the insurance contract. He cannot take the insurance of some other person. The insured must have insurable interest in the subject matter of the insurance, that is life or property insured. The insured will have to incur loss due to this damage, and insured will be benefited in full security is being provided. So the insured must have interest in the subject matter of the insurance. The subject matter of insurance may be the life or the property, so that if there is any loss due to the damage, then he will get the full benefit and also the security. A businessman has insurable interest in his house, stock, his own life, and that of his wife and children. The third principle of insurance is indemnity. This principle says that it applies to all contract except the contract of life insurance. Thus, the principle of indemnity is not applied to the life insurance policy, because estimation regarding the loss of life cannot be made. So we cannot estimate regarding the loss of life. Therefore, principle of indemnity is not applicable in the life insurance contract. The objective of the contract of insurance is to compensate to the insured for the actual loss he has occurred. So according to the principle of indemnity, compensation is given to the insurer for the actual loss that has occurred to the property or to the material goods. These contracts provide security from loss, and no profit can be made out of this contract. So the contract where principle of indemnity is applicable, these contracts, insurance contract provides security for loss. So security for loss is only provided, and no profit can be made out of these contracts. Now the fourth principles of insurance is proximate cause. The insurance company will compensate for the loss incurred by the insured due to reason mentioned in the insurance policy. But if losses are incurred due to the reason not mentioned in the insurance policy, then the principle of proximate cause or the nearest cause is followed. So if the insurance company will only compensate for the loss incurred by the insured due to the reason mentioned in the insurance policy. So according to the reasons mentioned in the insurance policy, the insurance company will only compensate for that loss. But if losses are incurred due to the reason not mentioned in the insurance policy, if any reasons are not mentioned in the insurance policy and for that there is loss, then the principle of proximate cause come into existence. Now the fifth principle of insurance is subrogation. This principle applies to all insurance contracts which are contracts of indemnity. So all those contracts which are the contracts of indemnity, their subrogation principle is applicable. As per this principle, when any insurance company compensates the insured for loss of any of his property, then all rights related to that property automatically gets transferred to the insurance company. So according to the principle of subrogation, when any insurance company compensates the insured for loss of any of his property, then what will happen? Then all the rights related to that property is automatically transferred to the insurance company. So once the insurance company has compensated the loss for the property, then all right regarding that property will automatically be transferred to the insurance company. Sixth principle of insurance is contribution. According to this principle, if a person has taken more than one insurance policy for the same risk, then all the insurer will contribute the amount of loss in propagation to the amount assured by each of them and compensate for the actual amount of loss, because he has no right to recover more than the full amount of his actual loss. So if a person has taken more than one insurance policy for the same risk, then all the insurance company will contribute the amount of loss in proportion to the amount assured by each of them and then compensate for the actual amount of loss, because he has no right to recover more than the full amount of his actual loss. And then the last principle is mitigation. According to this principle, the insured must take reasonable step to minimize the loss or damage to the property, otherwise the claim for the insurance company may be lost. So according to this principle, the insured must take reasonable step to save his property. If there is loss or damage, if there is fire in the shop, then the insured must take reasonable step to distinguish that fire, otherwise the claim for the insurance company may be lost. Today only this much. Thank you.